What's up, everybody? I am Ricky. So stoked to be here. It still has John, so I'm going to do the introduction I gave John, which is please welcome Ricky Robinette, who told me he's going to talk about leading DevRel programs to new heights, but I worry is just going to talk about magic. So John did much better than I gave him. As John said, I've been doing DevRel for a while. Right now I'm at a company called Cloudflare. Can you just put your hands together if you've heard of Cloudflare? Right, yeah. All right, great. Before that, I was at Twilio. Can you put your hands together if you've heard of Twilio? All right. And then before that, Orderin. Put your hands together if you've heard of Orderin. three very excited people. They can't all be zingers, folks. I live in Brooklyn with my wife and daughter, a very easy commute. I am an amateur magician. I say that just to set expectations for the happy hour tonight. Emphasis on amateur. And someone at dinner the other night asked me, why do so many DevRel people like magic? Which I was like, oh, I guess it's a thing now. DevRel people like magic. I can't answer for anyone else, but I can say for me, the thing that drew me to magic is the same thing that drew me to developer relations. This is me doing magic a few months ago. Ignore the other guy. Nobody cares about the other guy. But I like doing magic, I like doing DevRel because of this moment where somebody is like, wait, what? What just happened? Like, that's possible? And you show someone something they've never seen before, something that they didn't know could happen. But this is actually my second favorite moment. My first favorite is afterwards when they say, how did you do that? And you get to show them. And there's like this myth about magicians of like a magician won't reveal their secrets. Like, magicians love revealing their secrets. Like, it is sort of like DevRel and magicians have the same thing in common of like DevRel people love talking about DevRel and magicians love talking about magic. And so there's this big overlap here. And I was thinking about this talk that John asked me to give, and I was like, what could I tell someone about DevRel leadership? Like, what would I tie my career to? And it's really trying to create these moments of wonder for developers where they say, what just happened and how can I do that? And the best way I've found to do that is through telling stories. Darren Brown said, we are each of us a product of the stories we tell ourselves. I think we've all seen this happen throughout our careers, the power of the stories we tell ourselves. But I want to try and experiment with you all. So let's try an experiment. Greg's going to help here. He's going to grab a pad. And what I need is 10 nouns. So a person, a place, or a thing. Just shout it out. Give me laptop. What was that one? Dragon. Laptop. Dragon. Tomato? A potato. Okay, potato. Okay, we got laptop, dragon, potato. We need 7 more. Rainbow? Okay. What was that? Tomato. Okay, good. That's great. Okay, keep them coming. We're happy. What? Mountain. Okay. Sunscreen. I heard sunscreen. Amelia Estevez. Just a throwback. If you know, you know. All right, what are we at, Greg? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two more. Frog? A frog, okay. Bagel. Okay, so we got 10 words here, and I need a volunteer. Oh, wow, hands. I didn't even say, here, you here, come up. Here, John, can we get a handheld? Sorry, I should have prepped you for what was about to happen. And here, let me kill the slides. I was going to ask your name, but I'm going to try something here. All right. Please give Colleen a round of applause. All right. So how is your memory? Okay, that's the answer I wanted. Greg, turn that. Wait, look at it real quick. Read through them. Okay, turn it around. What did we have on there?
Laptop, dragon, potato, tomato, rainbow, Emilio Estevez, bagel, and I think I'm missing 3.
This experiment has already gone poorly because you've done so well. I don't know what you're talking. That was amazing. But you missed some. I think you got them out of order.
I did.
I'm going to teach you all a technique to memorize things. So Greg, turn it back around. Let's picture, actually you're on stage, right?
Okay.
And I say thank you, and you walk, and you see my laptop, right?
Yeah.
So just visualize this. And as you're walking, you actually trip, my laptop smashes on the floor, right? So think of that. As it smashes on the floor, a dragon comes through and just lights it on fire.
Okay.
You've got this in your head?
I've got this in my
head.
head.
Okay, so it's laptop smashes, dragon lights it on fire. You think I'd be upset, but I'm standing there. Out of my pocket, I pull a potato in foil, and I'm like, I skipped breakfast. I would love a baked potato. So as that happens over my head, just you look out the window, there's a beautiful rainbow, right?
Okay.
From that rainbow, you say, hey, I heard there's a treasure at the end of the rainbow. We run, somehow it's close, we get there very quickly.
And it's a tomato?
No, it's not, it's a pot of tomatoes.
A pot of tomatoes?
A pot of tomatoes at the base of a beautiful mountain. Right?
Oh, I hope we're wearing sunscreen.
Yes, you get what. You're not just wearing sunscreen. There's the biggest bottle of sunscreen you've ever seen. It's like a Roman fountain spewing out.
Oh, wait. Is it being manned by the one and only Emilio Estevez? You need a sunscreen fountain attendant, of course.
It
in
is.
his career, like he will take this role.
It's been a rough go for him. Let's be honest. In his pocket, there's just a little frog, and it's saying, "Hey, you hungry? You hungry?"
Ooh.
Shoots its tongue out. There's the tiniest bagel you've ever seen on its tongue.
That sounds adorable.
Let's do laptop smashes. Dragon lights it on fire. I bake a potato. You see this beautiful rainbow. We get the pot of tomatoes. There's this mountain. We need sunscreen because it's a beautiful mountain in the sun. It's a giant Roman fountain of sunscreen. Emilio Estevez is there. He is the attendant for the sunscreen fountain. In his pocket, a tiny little frog. His tongue comes out. There's the tiniest bagel. Okay, turn around, Greg. Okay, let's see if you can do the words.
All right. So, laptop, dragon, potato. The potato had a rainbow. The rainbow led to the sunscreen at the base of a mountain where Amelia...
What's at the end of the
Oh, sorry, tomatoes. The pot of tomatoes. I can't forget the pot of tomatoes at the base of the rainbow. Of course. How silly me. Then we've got that mountain. Emilio Estevez is there, and in his pocket, there's too bad pocket's not one, but there's a very adorable frog who, of course, is offering a very unsanitary bagel.
Amazing. Big round of applause for Colleen and Greg. Thank you. I will, John, you want to grab this back, or I could just set it here. That's fine. So we talk about the power of stories. The power of stories is real. This whole thing is based on a study that happened in 1969. They did this with a group of people. They found that people who memorized with a narrative remembered 93% of the words on a list of 10 words. The people who tried to kind of brute force it, just like go over and over and over that list, they remembered 13%. And so there is nothing I've found in my career that's more powerful than anchoring our work to stories. And there's been so much talk at this conference about all these really, really important things. I don't know if I'm good at any of them, but I think I'm good at telling stories, right? And I think that the way that my teams have found success is through telling those stories. I think to be a good DevRel leader, there are 3 stories you need to have equipped in your pocket. The first is a developer story. And it's funny, I was asking people, like, what would you want to hear about DevRelCon? And it's funny, someone said, I feel like we don't talk about developers enough, right? We talk about the craft, we talk about the data, but we don't talk about the people as much. And talking about the people is so powerful. I want to show you all a little clip. It's a magic clip. Sorry, I'm sprinkling in a bunch of my favorite magicians in this. This is a magician who also is a maker or a developer, so he's one of us. His name is Mario, the Maker Magician. And he's talking a little bit about how the stories he heard has influenced him. So fingers crossed.
Big part of my show is a teacher that I had in high school, and her name was Miss Rinaldo, and she changed my life. She taught me about Jackson Pollock. She taught me about artists that actually followed their heart when they made things, and they were able to make a career out of it, you know. And so in my show, we talk about Andy Warhol doing what you love for a living, you know. We talk about Alexander Calder building things out of broken toys, Jean-Michel Basquiat wearing fancy suits but not being uncomfortable painting with them, you know. So this is my robot that I built out of broken toys, 3D printed elements. If I turn the switch on, the robot comes to life, and it has a sensor to follow this red ball. So if I snap, sound sensor activates. Isn't that cool? And then it comes wherever the ball goes, and wherever it hears the sound, it will follow. And it's weird because I can put it even up in the one out there. You go.
Oh my God!
Don't move, okay? Because I gotta talk to Brad. Oh, sorry. It could do magic too. So if you look here, everyone say go down, go down. There it goes down, and watch the ball. I go 1, 2, 3. Disappears from my hands, and look underneath the lamp. There's the ball.
How many of us have tried to do something like that at a hackathon, right? It's like, it's the same, like, just like I found a bunch of random Arduinos and I want to like do something weird. I love Mario. If you can ever see Mario, like I just sob when I see him. His show is so incredible. What I love about this is he's talking about all these people that inspired him to do what he's done. In the same way, I found, especially when I'm talking to executives, this is funny, this is like how to lead teams, that we think executives want to hear a bunch of numbers. What they actually want to hear is about the impact that developers are having from the work you do. I want to share kind of like, I guess I'd think of like some of my Mount Rushmore of developers. So I'm not going to show more of this video. Here we go. This one, I think everybody knows this guy, Swift. I don't know if Swift's even in the room, but you can tell him I said nice things about him. But we talk so much about the impact that our work, being developer relations professionals, can have on an individual's life. But Swift's is the best story I've ever heard, and I'm going to butcher it. But my understanding is he was building an igloo. This is true, I think. So he's building an igloo. He's in college. He's going to be a lawyer. I don't know how it happened. Someone pokes their head in the igloo. In my mind, it's like a comically, like, fully built igloo. And they say, hey, I'm going to this hackathon thing. You should come, right? And that one single moment, it impacts Swift's life. But millions of developers around the world have been impacted by that one single moment. The ripples of that single moment have impacted my life. They've impacted everyone in this room's life, right? And so we could say, hey, in DevRel, it's really important to focus on individuals because the impact can spread out. And like people kind of gloss over, but if you say, let me tell you about this guy and his igloo, right? Like immediately people want to hear about it. So that's Swift. I think it's such a great story of the ripples that we can have by just helping one person. Another one of my Mount Rushmore of developers is Doug McKenzie. Doug McKenzie is one of the most creative and innovative developers I've ever met. And he taught himself to code by reading API documentation. He is a magician, if you haven't figured that out. And he had this idea for a trick that involved technology. And he didn't know how to do it. He stumbled around some docs around this. I think he just started switching to JavaScript, but he used PHP because that was like the default language in the API documentation. He's like, I guess I use PHP. And he's now like gone around the world showing people this wonder because of that API documentation. And I don't know about you all, sometimes I've struggled to get people to understand how important it is to get the docs right. But when I tell people about Doug, and I say, you never know who's going to be on your docs, you never know where it's going to take them, suddenly it shifts. Suddenly they're like, oh, well, like, we want Doug McKenzie to be successful with our docs, and then you want everyone, right? So Doug is on there. On my Mount Rushmore is my daughter, Faye. Faye, if I don't know why you would know her. I was going to say, if you haven't heard of Faye, of course you've heard of Faye. She has been learning to code with AI, and something I've thought a lot about is how developers are going to learn and code different in the future. And I've told so many stories about that idea. There's going to be, 900 million new developers over the next 5 years. And everyone's eyes glaze over. Faye made a video coding with Cursor, and 3 million people watched it. And it's like the thing that crystallizes when I have these conversations of not like developers are going to look different. They're going to be, starting at different times, learning in different ways. It's, hey, if an 8-year-old can grab Cursor and build, we are entering this renaissance of building, this renaissance of software development. And so these are my stories. They don't have to be your stories, but you should have stories that you can tell the people around you. You should have stories that you can tell your team, that can inspire your team. I can't tell you how much, so many DevNet from Twilio people are here, how much we were motivated seeing Doug do his magic. And your team needs that, your executives need that. That's the first kind of story. The second is a story with code. And I think we could do a whole keynote talking about demos and live demos. I know people have opinions on live coding. I want to show you another clip from one of my favorite magicians, Aussie Wind, and then talk about what this means for us telling stories with code.
Deal. Every person here would say, oh, maybe they're all the same. You're here to verify that they're different. Can you?
They are different,
Yeah,
yes.
so grab, mix them up a bit
Okay.
if you want.
Yeah, those are different.
And then pick about 5 or so, like this much, not too many.
Okay.
Go ahead, about
Okay,
5, 6
just like
pieces.
that.
Yeah, put them here. Put them right in the
Okay,
center here.
okay.
And turn them all facing up.
Oh, up, okay.
So we can see them. And
Okay.
here are the eyes of the audience. Also, we'll zoom on it, but you'll see, even these that are very close, they're different. Even that's different. Even
Yeah.
the shape. Every one of those. Can you divide them into 2 groups, 3 and 3, any way you want? Any 3 and 3.
Boop, boop, boop.
Okay. Which 3? Either 3. Doesn't matter.
3?
These. Can I take these?
Sure.
All right. So every choice you make is your own. I'm not trying to influence your choice.
I know.
From these 3, look, 1, 2, and 3. Can you pick any 2? Any 2 of them? It's up to you. Any 2, and put them right. Yeah, put them in the back. That's perfect.
I'm so nervous.
No,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
it
I don't know why.
fair? Is it fair? From 1,000, you chose 6. Then 3, you said get rid of the other 3. Then I asked you to remove 2.
Yeah.
We're down to 1.
Yes.
I knew you're going to choose this one.
Why?
I'll explain. I have the exact same puzzle at home. All night. It was a lot of. I put all the pieces together.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to finish it. I was missing one piece.
No.
Yeah. It's right here.
You are BSing me right now.
It's an image, and it's missing one piece.
How in the world would you know from me randomly grabbing? This is not a part of the show. I'm not a part of this. You are totally. I want to remove it.
It's up to you.
Can I look at
Let's
it?
do it together. Ready?
Okay.
Just take it off. There's
Okay.
one image here.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Oh my gosh! That's my dog! I just got it!
So I love that trick. That, if you didn't catch it, that's her dog, right? And the thing I love about this, and I think great magic and great demos do this, is it's not about Aussie being the coolest magician in the world, right? It's not about him doing all these moves. I think for Kelly Clarkson, I know her, for Kelly Clarkson, I think everything melted away, and it felt like it was for her individually. And not only did it feel that, the punchline was for her individually. And I think as we think about telling stories with code, the most important thing I can stress to all of you is the story is not about yourself. The story is not about your technology and how awesome it is. The story is about the person you're showing and what it unlocks for them and who they can be with that technology. At Twilio, we have this thing called the 5-minute demo. We love the 5-minute demo. I still love it. I think it's amazing. It is not my favorite Twilio demo. My favorite Twilio demo is something we call the Kenny demo. And I'm going to tell you the story of the Kenny demo. When Twilio went public, we did a hackathon on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And as we're setting up for this hackathon, this guy, he's in the middle, Kenny, he's just floating around, right? And you can tell he's kind of like, what's going on here? And I think we are, stressed. It's a big moment for us. But at some point, somebody says, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a trader on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and you tell me what's going on. I've never seen anything like this. We're about to do a hackathon, or we had to call it a codeathon. I think we're about to do a codeathon, and it's going to be live. We're going to stream it on the internet." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And we start, and then he's floating around again. And I don't know, Rob, if Rob Spector is here, that he's also there, two places at once, magic. I don't know if you planned this, but at some point we said, "Hey, Kenny, do you want to come on the stream, and we're going to show you how to code?" And he's like, "Okay." And Kenny built his first application live on the stream in front of thousands of people, and he was elated. We were elated, and it made us realize like this powerful moment that we can step away from the keyboard completely and put the user on the keyboard and teach them. So we took this demo around the world. One of my favorite stories, I went to Capitol Hill. You feel kind of cool at DevRelCon, like everyone is doing the same thing, they respect you. Going on Capitol Hill as a tech executive is like the opposite feeling of that. And so we meet with congressional staffers, and like they deal with these meetings all the time. But we started, instead of pitching them on Twilio, we said, "Hey, have you ever written code before? Do you know what Twilio does?" And one of my favorite moments is there's this congressional staffer. She said, "I have no idea what Twilio does. I've never written code." I opened my laptop. I handed it to her. I said, "Let's try something." I did the Kenny demo. For clarity, it's 6 lines of code, right? Like this is the most simple demo you could do. She builds it. At the end of it, she texts it. She gets a response. And then she just starts playing on her phone and ignoring me. And I'm like, whatever, maybe it didn't resonate, right? And I'm just sit there awkwardly. About 4 minutes pass of awkward silence, her just text. I'm like, maybe, like, should I check Twitter or something? Was there an emergency? Finally, she puts her head up. She goes, "I'm so sorry. My brother is a developer, and I've been texting him and showing him this, and he's asking me questions. I just wrote code, right?" And that is our job, right? Like our job is to create those moments for people. I just did a thing, and I'm gonna try it here. Maybe we'll see. I'm definitely like pushing the limits of things working. So at Cloudflare a couple months ago, I did a session called Vibe Coding for VPs. So we have about 100 VPs at Cloudflare. Most of them aren't technical. Most of them have never used our developer platform. All of them had heard of vibe coding and were like, "What is this?" So we took all 100 of them and we ran them through a session that was essentially the Kenny demo with AI. And I want to try, is there anyone here who has never written code? Okay, and is there anyone here who's never written code and is good at a Mac? Can I use you? I know you're, but are you up for coming up here? Amazing. So, let me try, he doesn't have a name tag, shit. What's your name? Remington? Awesome. You don't need a name tag. I was just gonna read it and pretend like I knew your name. And hey, thank you. First of all, your shots have looked incredible. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, give a big round of applause. Yeah. Here, come stand here. Oh God. I know, right? Here we go. So here's what we're at. We're at the Cloudflare dashboard. A couple things. This is our code. This is the output of our code. So far, you can see our code says hello world, right? If you were to edit this code to make it say something different, do you have a guess of what you'd do?
I like to think I'm pretty smart, but I don't see hello world in here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, you would change that.
You want to change the world to something?
Yeah. Hello. Remington.
Hello, Remington. And then just hit this refresh right there. Oh, hero. No! Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
I was prepared for the fix-it chant. Great. You already debugged, too, so great. Here is what I want you to do. I want you to copy all of this code, so just like click and highlight it. The whole thing, line 16 to line 1. And then you can Command-C. Go to this tab here with Google Gemini. And then just in here say, hey, Google Gemini. Oh, yeah, good. I'm going to have you say it. You don't have to type, but let me tell you what to say first so it doesn't pick me up, because then you don't get to feel like you did it. Just say like, hey Gemini, can you update this code to be a simple blog?
Hey Gemini, can you update? Wait.
There we go. I never do that.
Hey Gemini, can you update this? Hey Gemini, can you update this code? I forgot the rest.
To be a simple blog. Do you have a blog already? No? No?
Just like Instagram.
Okay, here. You just type to be a simple blog there. And then before you send it, go to the end, add the code. Yeah, you already know it. You don't even need me anymore. Command V, awesome. Let's see. Now, if I had planned ahead more, I'd have like the Jeopardy music. We were talking about like this is pretty good. So scroll down, let's see what it's doing. I could sing. So here, go up a little bit and copy this code here. You can click that. Copy it and go back to that tab where our code was. Yep. And just paste what you just copied over everything. Yeah. Cool, and then hit refresh. Moment of truth. Oh, so welcome to Remington Simple Blog. So you can scroll through that.
All right, that's impressive.
You just built a blog.
I code, you know.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Remington.
Thank you.
And like, this seems so basic. Like, I can't stress how much you can win the hearts and minds of the people you work with who haven't yet experienced these tools by doing something as basic as that. And so, if nothing else from this talk, like, go and show people that experience. And like, our inclination is going to be like Claude Code and Cursor and all these other things. Like, no, like, they know that chat experience, they used it, like, keep it in their space, and you'll be amazed by how people react. Okay, last thing, and probably the most important thing I can leave you all with is you have to know your story, right? Why are you here? Why are you doing DevRel? One last magician clip. I say this after everyone. One of my favorite magicians, a gentleman who goes by the name of Piff the Magic Dragon. We've got some Piff fans in the house.
I was invited to a costume party and I said I need a costume to wear. My sister had a dragon outfit under her bed, so I just borrowed this dragon outfit, went to the party. No one else was in any sort of like costume. It was just me. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And my friend was like, oh yeah, we changed it. I was like, you're kidding me? I've just walked across London in a dragon outfit on my own. So I was drinking red wine in the corner, and my friend said to me, you should do this in your act. You could be Puff the Magic Dragon. I said, wait, I could be Piff the Magic Dragon. You might have heard of my older brother, Steve. And I was like, oh, that's a funny joke. I should try that. And it took like 6 months to do it, but as soon as I did it, I was like, wow, this really makes up for this face.
So love Piff, and like, how much better is that than if he was John the Magic Guy, right? Like, no one would care. And so I don't know how to tell you your story, right? That is so individual. I want to leave you with my story and my real story, right? People ask me a lot, why do you do DevRel? And I say like, oh, I discovered computers when I was little. I like building stuff. That's not the actual story of why I do this. The actual story is this. I went to college. My freshman year, I finished finals. I flew to Chicago for the weekend to celebrate. I get a phone call while I'm there. It's my dad. He says, hey, son, you coming home tonight, right? And I said, yeah. He said, okay, your mom's a little sick. Just wanted to make sure you'd be there. I'm like, whatever. I'm 19. I'm like, okay, cool. I can do that. A couple hours later, my sister calls, and she says, hey, Dad doesn't want you to know, but Mom's really sick. And I'm like, okay, I'm 19. I'm like, I'm gonna be home, get off my case, right? Like, I'm trying to enjoy Chicago. I land home, Kansas City is home for me, and my grandparents pick me up. My grandparents didn't live in Kansas City, so that was the moment when I was like, oh shit, like this something real is going on. They drive me directly to the hospital. My mom is in a coma. I spend that summer living in the ICU. My dad has to keep working, so I kind of try to go to school and take care of her. The summer after my sophomore year, she gets her leg amputated. Spend that summer taking care of her. I start junior year, and again, and this, the version of the story I would tell not to this room, to people, normal people, I'd say I dropped out of college. Or I'd say I failed out of college if I'm trying to be a little, I really faded out of college, right? I faded out because I was never like a happy kid. Like finding happiness was hard for me. And when you are a caregiver as a teenager, finding that happiness is tougher. And so my junior year, I kind of stopped eating, I stopped drinking. My parents like show up at my apartment. They hadn't heard from me. They didn't know if I'm alive. It's what like you would call rock bottom. I go to the doctor, you know, all this stuff messed up with me. And I have this moment of like, do I want to fall into this pit of despair, or do I want to try life differently, right? And lots of antidepressants and therapy and all that. But I said, like, I want to try life differently. And doing that is like finding what makes life worth it for me. And for me, what makes life worth it is serving others, right? It is putting others above myself. What makes life worth it for me is bringing wonder, right? To show people possibilities they didn't believe they could grab hold of. And that's why I do DevRel, because I can't think of a profession that gives me more opportunities to serve others and deliver wonder than this profession. I don't tell this story often. I've never told it to a room this big. Often I forget when I tell this story to mention the conclusion of the story, and people are like, oh, I'm so sorry about your mom. My good news, this is my mom from a few months ago. She is still alive. It's fine. She didn't do anything. The doctors did it. So you know, 20 some years later, she's still here. So great. So like, I don't want you all to leave sad. My dad did pass, you know, about 6 years. So you win some, you lose some. I told Andrew and Greg I was going to do that one and just see how it went over. So let me leave. This is a quote from an author I love. He says, I adapted this a little bit, but he says, the world is bursting with wonder, and yet it's rare to have considered the possibility that the ultimate point of all our frenetic doing might be to experience more of that wonder. I have kind of 2, maybe 3 takeaways, because I got 2 minutes so I can squeeze in 3. First, there's a lot of folks here who have been doing this DevRel thing for a long time. I would encourage you to not lose that wonder of this work and to not lose what a gift it is. I know things are hard. I know we talk about layoffs. I know we talk about budgets. But the fact that so many of us wake up every day and get to do this is a miracle, right? I know there's a lot of folks in this room who are thinking about getting into DevRel, who are exploring this. My invitation to you would be to do this from a place of service, to do this work not to show how cool you are or how much code you can sling or how much of an elite hacker you are, but to show people around the world that they can do this too. I hope over the past 40-ish minutes, I've been able to show a little wonder to you all and let you into that space. I can truly say when I look around this room over the past 15 years, so many of you have given me back that wonder in spades. I can never thank you all enough for that, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ricky. Yeah, I think that deserves a standing ovation. Thank you, folks. Okay. I'm a little emotional after that. We have time for a couple of questions for Ricky, and I know he'll be hanging out later if you want to talk to him one-on-one too. So raise your hand and Wei will run over to you. I see one right in back there. I think that's maybe Jessica? I can't really see from here.
Hey, Jessica, good to see you.
Hello, how's it going? So I have a question. So I loved your talk first and foremost, but I've actually received some pushback when I've built like simple inspirational applications that like they're lacking technical depth or they're too simple or like our audience is all very serious developers and like they could read through that that's like a simple Hello World app and like that's not what they want to see. So how do you like balance that?
Yeah, that's a great question. First, I think so much of our job, and like I tried to work this in, but there was just so much I wanted to tell you. So much of our job is like educating people to who developers are, and I think there are these myths like developers are these serious people. Like I don't know, like I basically have been running around for the past 3 years trying to get people to go to magic shows, and very rarely have I met a developer that's like, magic, that's for kids. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, magic, that sounds incredible, right? I think there's like a persona, it's tough to find a persona for me that isn't more encouraged by capturing, that wonder. So first I would say like, the people who say like developers are these serious people who want serious stuff, maybe just you have to show them that's not entirely true. And the difference between like authentic wonder versus like marketing BS, and maybe they've had like an experience where like you put marketing BS in front of them and they called it out, but like I think if it's authentic, I've very rarely seen pushback. I also think you need a blend, right? Like I love these like vibe coding, like VP sessions. I also love getting on calls with developers that want to go deep. I think the answer is not like it's one or the other. The answer is why not both?
Cool, I see another hand right there.
Hi, thank you so much, especially the inspiration about fun demo ideas. Something that I really struggle with is the platform that I work with is, again, great from like an enterprise perspective, and it's really hard to make, how can we teach a VP to process an exabyte of data? Ooh. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, it's fun to me because I'm a nerd, but like they don't really care. So in terms of like inspiration of like how to get ideas or where do you get ideas from, I know it's difficult to say like where does inspiration come from, but in terms of just kind of like picking up bits and pieces and kind of like opening your mind to kind of fresh ideas, do you have any recommendations? If anyone has any recommendations, please find me. Thank you.
Yes. Hey, Holly. Good to see you. I'm so glad we met yesterday. Thank you for answering a question, or asking a question. I feel like there should be an unconference talk on like cool demos for enterprise companies. So I would just say like that would be a great conversation. I'll give you my take, and this is probably the worst career advice I could give, but it worked for me, so whatever. Is like, I've never been particularly ambitious or like cared particularly about like what the company needs. I've cared about like what developers need and how that like helps the company. And so like, look, like I use Cloudflare in the vibe coding thing because I work at Cloudflare, but like it's such a minimal part of Cloudflare. In fact, like the story isn't at all about Cloudflare. And so like, if you think you are around people who need to be inspired by what's possible in this moment, it's okay to say, yeah, we're Databricks, and this is what we do. And you can get there, but I want to start by showing you a hello world. I want to start by showing you can build a blog, right? And that people are so good at extrapolating out from there. So just like, don't be afraid to break out of your product to get people inspired, and then bring them back in at the right moment.
Yeah, PJ, right up front here.
Thank you. I have a question about how you balance the wonder you talked about and the sort of, there's an inherent joy in the way that you talk about things. How do you come back to that after, say, something difficult, devastating, you're laid off and it's like, okay, like I'm gonna be sad for a bit, but then how do you come back to the wonder and the joy afterwards?
Yeah, such a great question, especially right now. So a couple things. First is like we have to cry together first when those things happen. And I don't mean, sometimes I mean literally cry, right? But I've been through companies where I've watched half the company get laid off, right? And no one wants a magic show after half the company's gone. learned that lesson the hard way. So, yeah. It's a severance package. Oh, wait, it disappeared. Too soon. But yeah, you have to meet the moment, right? But also, I'll tell you, I lived in this ICU waiting room for 3 months when my mom was sick, and my favorite moments were when my friends showed up and they erased all of that, right? I have a good friend, and his name's Mike. He'll never watch this, but I'll give him a shout out. Thanks, Mike. He showed up, and he had brought a CD from Piebald, a band I really liked at the time. He brought me some comic books, right? And even though things suck, I think we actually need those things that remind us what life is about more in those moments. It's so perilous, right? And you're gonna get it wrong. I've certainly gotten it wrong, but I think meet people in the moment, cry with them, and then try to figure out how to, contextualize it all.
I think we only have time for one more, but Ricky will be hanging out later too. Yeah, Chuck, right up front.
Hey, great talk. So this is my first sort of multicultural, multinational company that I've worked for. And I've been very comfortable as the American idiot. And, Americans are very good at just being like, oh, I'm a buffoon, let's do something silly. And I'm discovering that culturally, other places, maybe they do take themselves a little bit more seriously. And obviously, YouTube and stuff, people are kind of ingrained. It's like, okay, cool, you're going to be a little silly. But I've discovered that within my team, sometimes I need to be a little bit more serious, or I need to treat people a little bit more seriously for it to go well. And I'm kind of curious to see, is that been your experience as well, or is there some tricks for knowing where you're going and reading the room?
Yeah. Such an important question. Thank you, Chuck, and loved your talk too. Yeah. So first, the your story point. I love the Piff story. I love Piff, and it's so dumb and it's so ridiculous. It's so absurd. It's my thing. If I came up here in a dragon costume and did this whole talk as Ricky the DevRel dragon, it would be mimicking someone else, right? And so I think the first and most important thing is find who you are. I think I am a person who loves wonder, I love joy, I love magic, I love Broadway, I love basketball. I try to bring all of that. If you are a more serious person, don't try to be me. Be the version of yourself that you are. So just first and foremost, I think that's the most important thing. Second is there's so much reading the room. There's a lot of folks who have worked with me and for me in this room, and I think there are moments when you can't tell a joke, right? When you can't craft an inspirational story in that moment. You just have to grieve together, right? Or you just have to address the behavior together. And so all I can say is being really intentional about that. In my best moments, I will look at the meeting agenda and look at the people on that meeting agenda, and I will think about every person and what I know about where they're at and say, okay, I know Greg's in this, I know Andrew's in this, I know Lizzie's in this meeting, and I know where all of them are, and how do I need to show up based on where they all are. But there's no playbook for that. It's just taking the time and being intentional.
Fantastic note to end on. Let's give Ricky another huge round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.